ain't no fun getting in trouble. Just have fun and just make your money. Like,
Welcome to Hot Mic in 30. I'm Nate Rogers. It's so good to be with you. And guess who else is here? The one and only Beyonce Fox. What's up, B?
What's up, Nate? Good to be here.
Oh my God, are you ready for another session of Hot Mic in 30?
Oh yes, I am so ready.
And we promised the people we're only gonna be here 30 minutes.
That's it. That's all.
To give them the best in entertainment.
Sports.
What else y'all want to talk about? Politics?
Trending topics.
Trending topics.
Yeah, speaking of trending topics, let's get into this one.
Here we go. Teen trends. Now, they say we shouldn't call them trends, or we shouldn't call them takeovers.
Takeovers.
You know, it's happening all over the country. Atlanta, Washington, D.C., Philly, and here in Chicago. And so we wanted to assemble some of the best people to talk about it. First joining us is Kofi Ola from Good Kids, Mad City. What's up, Kofi?
What's going on, brother? Glad to be here.
Yes, sir. How you doing? You good?
I'm well, thank you.
Excellent.
And also joining us, he's 19 years old, so he's technically still a teen, and his name is Fabian Walker. Faby! Fabo! What's up, man?
how y'all doing?
Man, so you're a teen, technically still a teen, 19 years old, recently graduated. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. Appreciate
Yes, happy to have you here, man. You've been to Team Takeovers, Team Trends, I should say. Talk about it. Why is this a thing? And it's not new. These have been going on for some years now.
Yeah, I really feel like it's a thing because people just like having fun. Like when people make teen takeovers or trends, it's basically just bring the whole city out. Like all the teens that's on Instagram, it bring everybody out for you to meet new people, do stuff. But like I don't know why people just do all the bad. It's just that it just having fun.
Right. So why do you think that is, though? Why do you think they start off all good, but then, midway to towards the end of the thing, it's a problem? That's a problem.
I really feel like midway towards the end, people just be wanting attention.
Okay.
You said that earlier. You said it was attention seeking.
Yeah, it's attention seeking. Like a whole crowd of people fighting one person, that's attention seeking because they know if it's a fight, the whole crowd finna run over here to see who fighting.
Yeah. Not only that, it'll go viral, most likely, right?
Yeah.
And they need all of that attention.
Yeah.
So you used to go to teen takeovers, let me say teen trends, but you don't go anymore. And man, what's your reason for not going anymore?
Like I've been had me in my mind up that I wasn't going no more, but I had lost somebody at a trend, so that made me not even want to go no more for real. But I wasn't going.
A best friend, right?
Yeah, I'm like my best friend.
Well, tell us a little bit, just about what that experience was like.
I ain't gonna lie, like it was. I was in a dark place. Cause that was somebody I was with every day, like every second. You call his phone, I'm in the background. You could call my phone, he in the background. Like that was like the brother I wish I had. And then the one day that we wasn't together, something happened to him. Like that really took a big toll on my life.
And he was shot at one of these teen events?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, man.
Yeah, me too.
What do you, because I remember you did share that you had gone to the funeral, you even served as like a pallbearer. What did that do just for that circle of friends? Do you think it changed their mindset on these teen gatherings?
I mean, like, everybody that I'm cool with or that was cool with my homie, they stopped going to him after that happened.
Oh, okay.
Because it really opened their eyes about it, that it wasn't safe anymore. So,
well, Kofi, we want to bring you in on this. I know you've gone through a lot. You've been gone to a lot of these teen trends. You've been working with young people for years. Set the stage for us, for people that may not be familiar with them. How do they grow? I know the word spreads on social media, but once you're there, you see kids with cameras and even tripods. They're twerking, trying to have a good time. But as Beyonce just mentioned, how does it get to the chaos, the vandalism, all of that kind of stuff?
Well, I think you named it. Big thing that we always notice is the build up on social media, right? So somebody will share it get a little bit of attention. The algorithm helps promote it. So whether you're talking about TikTok or the Gram, they both populate the flyer basically, and then somebody else might copy and paste it, and then they post it, tag their friends, and it just go up from there, right? So while you're actually at it, it's not coordinated. You know what I mean? It's a general location where they say meet up, right? But there's not one leader, right? There's not anybody that's like for real organizing. Yeah. So people just roam. You meet up with who you meet up, who you cool with, who you locked in with. But then, like Fabo said, you trying to meet new people, guys trying to holler at girls, vice versa. Yeah. But at the end of the day, there's no structure, right? It's not a party. It's not indoors. It's not, security. You know what I mean? Like police show up, but outside of that, people got to think about their own safety. So you got people carrying weapons, not necessarily there to harm anybody, but with this mindset, I'm gonna make sure ain't nobody hurt me. You feel me? Yeah. So because it's so many variables, so many different factors that are uncontrollable, we got to think about it in the context of, I can remember when I was young going to parties, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going there to dance with girls, but I'm already knowing I might get into a fight, or somebody might shoot, you never know. But the likelihood of that happening was a little bit lower just because you knew most of the people there and it's not that many people. You know what I'm saying? You at, one of your homies' mama's basements, you feel me? Like, you getting 50 people up in their max, right? But
more controlled.
Exactly. But we talking about outside where the numbers can be from, 50 to 100 up to 1,000 people. You go to Lollapalooza or any festival like we were talking about earlier, you got security, you got gated off areas, you have sections. Again, we talking about kids going up in McDonald's, going in the parking lot or on the beach or whatever the case may be. People are just gonna move how they gonna move, And another thing, it's a catch-22 because some young people feel safe because police are there, so they thinking nobody's gonna do nothing real bad because they're not gonna do it in front of the police. But on the flip side of that, police sometimes escalate their energy, so they get confrontational or they trying to move people out the way and they being rude. You know what I'm saying? And shorties ain't feeling that type of energy. So then, they gonna respond in kind. You yelling at me, I'm gonna yell at you. And that just changes the mood and the energy. So it go from a party type vibe to something more aggressive. Yeah.
Talk, if you can for a second, talk about the beefs. Either you, Fabo, or Kofi. One thing that I learned just from talking to different people that attend and a lot of the activists, a lot of the beefs may occur on social media already, like in advance, or this may be somebody that they're beefing with in their own community or something like that, and it ends up, happening there. Would you say?
Something like you say, yeah. People got their own personal stuff going on, and everybody want to come out. Like I say, a trend makes everybody come out, so you wouldn't never know who you would see at a trend.
Right.
So it's like you would probably see somebody that you into it, and that'll rile you up because it's like you probably don't know how to control it. Like it will anger or something.
And lately, there have been people coming to Chicago from far areas, like Joliet, Plainfield. And I'm just wondering, like, are they coming with the intention of kicking something off? Because, like, this is not even your hood. You know what I mean?
Memorial Day weekend, there was an incident. 5 Chicago police officers, they were injured. They were hit by a teenager, I think was 18 years old, from Plainfield. And so, to Beyonce's point, these are not just Chicago kids. These are kids coming from all over. Parents. Talk about parents. We always, raise that question about parents.
And you know what?
Kofi don't like that a little bit.
Now, Kofi, I'm gonna put this out there. Now, I'm put this out there. I hear a lot. People in my age group, Gen X, they want to know, where are the parents? Why is 11-year-old Juju out at 3 a.m? Like, they're blaming parents on these teen trends. Your child should not be a child out at 3 a.m. Speak on that. Okay, Kofi. I mean, Fabo, speak on it.
Hey, I just really feel like they shouldn't blame the parents for that, because You say 11. I don't know no 11-year-olds that's finna be in no trend.
They're out there.
They're out there.
There have
11,
been.
12, 13. They're young.
Like, when I was at trends, everybody like 15 plus, 16 plus. So it's like, at that moment, you able to go outside by yourself. You just gotta let your mama know like where you gonna be at. And some people probably telling their mama they finna just go downtown. Probably not because their mama not knowing it's a teen takeover today.
Right.
And then some people probably telling their parents they going to a friend's house or something and then going to the takeover. So it's just like I just don't feel parents should get blamed for that.
What do you think, Kofi?
I mean, as a fellow Gen Xer, we were called the latchkey generation.
Yeah.
You feel me? Because, just what you see today, we got a lot of hardworking parents at work, working 2, 3, 4 jobs, just trying to keep food on the table, pay the bills, roof over your head. So I know, for Gen Xers growing up in the 90s, a lot of us didn't have that parent supervision for real. A lot of us was in the streets doing whatever. But at the end of the day, we know we had parents that cared for us, that loved us, that was trying to do right by us by the best way that they could, right?
Or mom is at work.
There it is.
That's reasonable to say?
Right. My mom is at work. My daddy locked up. You feel me? Like, who's supposed to be, taking care of me like that, right? But at the end of the day, I think we should focus on parents, but it should be how do we support parents, right? How are we getting extra relief for them so that they can do more to care for they babies, right? To be more responsible, check in on them. Because we know some parents need parenting skills, right? But more than that, we are living in a time where we are seeing, we just talk about young people, we have some of the highest unemployment rates for Black youth right now, right? Yeah. I just read some statistics on specifically Black male suicide on the rise, right? We can't not talk about mass incarceration and the ways it affects our communities. So for me, teen trends is the low-hanging fruit. That's the easy kind of, spectacle for people to gravitate towards. But we don't want to talk about what's been endemic in the Black community for decades, especially here in Chicago, with the projects being torn down, with 50 schools being closed, mental health clinics being closed. We're just now trying to reverse a lot of that harm, structural harm that happened to our communities. And it's easy to put the blame on individuals, right? So it's easy to target these teenagers, it's easy to target their parents, but it's hard when we talk about real societal accountability, right? And criminalizing Black people ain't gonna cut it. So we talking about finding parents and locking parents up. People don't think through the logistics of that.
Can you even enforce that? Can you enforce
but
that?
Let's say you do.
$500 fine if your child is arrested?
Right. Well, that's already in play, right? So let's take it a step further. If they're trying to charge more or, again, penalize people by giving them jail time, let's think about the logistics again. That means my parents going to be gone from my home for the amount of time that you locking them up. Who's putting food on my table then? Where am I going to be at for real if, my parent is not there for me, right? So at the end of the day, we should be looking at how can we support parents? What can we do, like a living wage or extra free daycare or healthcare or something to help alleviate all the stress that Black parents are really dealing with for real, instead of trying to put more on their plate and discipline them and their children.
No, Kofi, I think you make a good point. We can't ignore the status quo. Like what's going on in communities. I know earlier when Fabo and I talked, he described the teen takeover or teen trend as a block party, a big block club party where, again, kids want to come. The majority of them, it's safe to say, the majority want to come, hang out, have fun, meet girls, meet guys, that sort of thing. But you can't ignore the fact that a lot of the young people that go to these events, they deal with trauma in their own communities. The school, Hyde Park High School, directly across the street from the new Obama Presidential Center, they had 3 young people that died back to back a couple of months ago. That's traumatic for young people. And so when the weekend comes, hell yes, they want to get outside and they want to party and dance and twerk and pull out their phone. What's the problem is jumping on cars. The problem is shooting at people. The problem is fighting. And so
Vandalism.
Moving towards solution. how can we get, because it's agreed that we don't have enough free spaces, right? There's some, and we can share some of those, but how do we work to change the mindsets, Fable, of young people? Like, hey, go to a safer space, do something more productive.
I just feel like the young, what age group do y'all mean by younger people?
Anyone that attends these trends,
Right.
from 12 to 19
Your
on up.
age and a little younger. Yeah.
Cause like personally, I really feel like if they 16 or 17 and up, there's no change in their mindset. Cause you gotta think, but they already done grew into their mindset. So I feel that there's no change in that. But like younger, like 13 and stuff, I feel like if it just was more fun places, like just fun places for them to do that wasn't so expensive or you got to spend money at it. Because it's like kids be wanting stuff to do after school, but you got to pay to get in everywhere. Like kids want to play basketball after school, but you got to pay to get in the indoor court. And some kids got stuff going on, so they're not finna hoop at no outdoor court.
Right, right. So you do feel that there are limited opportunities for young people? Yeah. Have they ever come to you, your fellow teens, saying, look, it's nothing for us to do. That's why we out here.
Like when I was younger, I was like 15, 16. We was trying to go to the cultural center, and then we had saw that you had to spend money, all that. Then we was thinking about the Uber, all that. We was like, and then that's when I realized in my head, I'm like, it's so easy to do bad stuff, but it's so hard to do good stuff.
Right. Yes, yes. So what would you like to see, though, in that vein? Like, do you wish there were more rec centers? Do you wish there were places where you could just go and have kickbacks that were okay, free? Just everybody meet up at this auditorium. We got food, we got games, let's just kick it. Do you really think your peers would fall for that and like go to that? Or will they be like, oh, that's corny, that's lame, I'm not doing that?
I really feel like, like if it was just, like I say, just free spaces, like.
But they have to be in control.
Right.
Yeah,
I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
And another thing, I feel like the kids the people that's like 20 or younger, they just don't like being told what to do or just don't like being controlled.
So Kofi, we need you to answer that, man. How do we change the mindset? Because there are a lot of free programs, YMCA, especially this summer, Boys and Girls Clubs, all type of different opportunities.
There's a lot of private organizations too that reach out.
Yeah, but young people may not necessarily want to go in those environments for whatever reason. So how do? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
The YMCA was never free. You always had to pay $10 to get in if you ain't have a membership.
Okay.
So that free that's new. Like that gotta be new that the Y is free.
I think it's an initiative this summer that they're offering.
Yeah, to kind of settle some of these
because
trends.
The only thing that was free about the Y was YSVP. But I told you YSVP is gone now.
Yeah. That's the problem. A lot of the programs that young people are used to, they've left.
So Good Kids Mad City started back in 2018. Good Kids Mad City is a youth-led, adult-supported violence prevention organization. And one of the big things that we've been organizing around is to get the Peace Book Ordinance passed, which will hire young people between the ages of 16 and 24 to do peacekeeping, violence prevention work, do restorative justice, de-escalation, and they work directly in their neighborhood, directly in their schools. And if we make it as robust as we want, meaning hiring thousands of young people, that helps shift the culture, because we always have to think about what's the normative stuff, what's the culture going on. And since social media is so prevalent with Gen Z, Gen Alpha, we need those same young people who can become influencers to push the narrative, to change some of the culture, to push peace, like the young people say, and really move young people in a different direction. With that being said, those same young people can show up to teen trends when they happen to help de-escalate, to help redirect some of that energy, and to help make the environment to actually be safe for them to have fun to be in. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, the genie's out the bottle. You know what I mean?
You don't believe this thing can be stopped? Right now, at least.
I've been seeing them happening since 2018. Those young people now, like my youngest person at the time was 17, 18, they're now 25. Clearly they're not doing trends anymore.
Right.
But the next generation has picked it up, and it's getting bigger and it's evolving. Like you all named, it's national now. This used to be hyper local. You know what I mean? But now it's grown. And like Fabo said, though, I mean, you got to think about it. A lot of black youth were isolated in our communities. A lot of people ain't never been downtown. You know what I'm saying? It'd be a block party. You know, they call them fifis on the block, right? So you having fun in your hood, but you're not traveling outside of that. So this became a new way from shorties who ain't never been off their block to go to a whole nother neighborhood and experience something different. Not the right way, but now I'm at the beach. I ain't never been to the beach. Now I'm downtown. I ain't never been downtown. Now I'm in Hyde Park. I ain't never been in Hyde Park. You know what I'm saying? And we got to think about, this is the generation that experienced the pandemic. That were locked inside, that were going to school through virtual experience. And it was a very depressing, horrible time for everyone. So just imagine a young person that's being, you know, growing up, you're 12, 13, 14, or even younger between 2020 and 2023, 2024. So of course they want to be outside. And like Fabo said, it's free. All I got to do is get there.
Show up.
Yeah.
Show up.
I bet. You know, so we really got to understand that, yes, we need way more recreational spaces. Shout out to the YMCA for making it free for 13 to 18-year-olds. You know, shout out to Department of Family Support Services for creating, you know, helping to create the peacekeeper jobs that Mayor Johnson signed the executive order for. So now we're going to have young people working year-long work, you know, pushing peace and doing peacekeeping in their neighborhood. But we need way more than that.
Yeah,
you know, the park districts need to be expanded. You know, there needs to be more investment. What is it? Oh my goodness, I'm forgetting the name of the space. But it's a space that is full community center. They got a gym, they got a theater, they got, and it's accessible. You know what I mean? So we need more spaces like that. But at the end of the day, young people are going to be outside, and there's nothing you can do about it. What you can do, though, is try to make it as safe as possible.
Yeah.
You know, the parent takeover, I think that was brilliant. You know, if older folks can show up and be there to support, and you may see some young people you have relationships with. When I'm out there, when they saw me out there, you know, they were surprised at how many young people were around me. Because I built relationships with them. I know them. They know me. There's a level of trust.
And so that's what I kind of want to get to is approach. There are a lot of people watching our podcast right now, fathers, grandfathers, uncles, even single mothers that feel like they can't reach their young person. And so educate us on the approach. How do you, I mean, you can't say, you're not going to grow up to be nothing. You're not. What are the words? What's the language? What do you do to say, hey, there's opportunity out here for you? How do we convince them to try to get a job or try to sign up for something at the YMCA? It's not that easy. I think you can open all of the recreational centers in the world, but to get them in those doors, that's not easy.
Okay. I really feel like parents just gotta stop getting their kids everything they want.
Oh. So you
hot mic.
Wait a minute now.
Say that one more time.
Parents gotta stop getting their kids everything they want.
So what do you mean by that, though, Fabo?
Like, entitlement. I'll shut up.
Okay.
These kids not be wanting $1,000 shoes.
Yeah.
They whole outfit shoes got to be $1,000.
We were just talking about those prom send-offs.
Like these kids not be wanting these expensive outfits.
Yep. And don't want to work for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's like once the kids start getting to 18, 19, that's when the parents start not buying them that expensive stuff and all that. So it's like once kids get to the age and their parents stop doing stuff for them or just slow down on doing stuff for them, that's when they gonna realize like or some kids just realize like I don't want to keep asking my parents for stuff. I want to get it on my own when I want to get it and stop waiting on it.
They're going to want that job so they can get it themselves. Yeah.
What else? What do you think, Kofi? Do you think there's something about just offering grace? Because we can do a lot by just, going back to what I said, bringing people down, just the criticism. But to really encourage them, how? What are the words we use? What's the best approach? If social media can get hundreds of young people to the beach, to downtown in a matter of an hour, how do we use social media to encourage them, to motivate them, to show them a different way?
At the end of the day, young people are just people. You got to think about it. Being young is a marginalized identity that doesn't stay static, right? Like you black for life, right? You who you are. But being young is a special time of your life. And if we're not approaching young people with humanity, with respect, they understand authenticity. So when you keep it a buck with it, when you 100 with them, they respect that, And at the end of the day, I can be authoritative to a degree with a young person, but not out of fear, not out of demanding that I control the situation, but again, out of mutual love and respect. If you show a young person that you genuinely, truly care about them and that you're going to do everything in the world so that they can be successful, then they're going to listen to you. And they may not right off the bat, right? But we also can't forget that we were young once, and having boomers and the other generation over us was a whole other ordeal
right.
that they getting spared from. You know what I'm saying? I think Gen X parents and millennial parents, for real, give a lot of grace and try to, the same thing. Like, I don't want my shorty to grow up how I grew up. So if I grew up, struggling, eating syrup sandwiches and not knowing when the lights is going to be on and the gas going to be on, and I bring my shorty up, I'm going to be spoiling them. I'm going to make sure my little man got his new pair of shoes, his PlayStation 5, his Xbox, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't want him to go through what I went through. But at the same time, if I overdo it, then like Fabo name, you're going to have some kind of backlash to that too. You know what I'm saying? You're going to create a dependency that may not be healthy.
And then, like, some parents just get their kids everything to make sure, like, just make sure you got everything so you don't go outside and try to
There it
rob.
is.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, there it is. Now, Fabo, I want you as a teenager to look into your camera and just what message would you give to other teens and young adults like you who plan on attending the next teen event? Because we know it's going to happen. They're going to keep happening.
I say, like, ain't no fun getting in trouble. Just have fun and just make your money. Like, there's no fun getting in trouble.
Is that the place to be? Is it okay to go there with the intention of just hanging out, meeting girls, or is it likely something is always going to pop off?
I feel like it's likely something always gonna pop off. That's just me. That's why I don't go to them.
And then, Kofi, I think last message for you, we put a lot of the onus on parents, but and it sounds like this has to be communities come together, neighbors, folks that may or may not have children. If you have job opportunities for young people, hey, try to hire them. What advice would you give people who just want to stop talking about it but be a part of the solution?
Hear about it.
Absolutely. I mean, learn your history. We talk about the boomers who came up in the 60s and 70s, they got criminalized. They didn't have a strong support system. And you transition to Generation X. Again, we were called latchkey kids. We didn't get the support we were supposed to have. And now we're raising children, and, we have to have these expectations that parents can only do so much, especially if they don't have the support systems that they need in order for them to succeed and for their children to succeed. So with that being said, it's up to us to continue to organize, to get more resources for our communities, and not pretend like a lot of the barriers are still there economically, socially, and politically, especially for Black people in cities like Chicago, Philadelphia, Atlanta, D.C., et cetera. Not much has changed. Chicago is still one of the most hyper-segregated cities in the world, where Black people are not economically sound like we should be. The wealth gap between the Black and white household medium is still substantial. So until we get to root causes of what's harming our communities, until we get some sort of reparations and some sort of policies that are going to be universally helpful for our communities, we're going to continue to pick at the low-hanging fruit, like I said earlier, and pay attention. Our young people are just demonstrating the symptoms. right? The real heart and problem is much deeper than the young people want to be outside and have a good time.
Agreed.
I know it's a continuing conversation.
It is.
But we definitely appreciate you all coming on. Kofi, Ola, Good Kids, Mad City, also Fabo. Congratulations to you, man. Congratulations to you.
Also, Good Kids, Mad City.
Also,
Yes,
Good Kids, Mad
Good
City.
Kids,
We really
Mad
appreciate
City,
you all.
yes.
Well,
We thank you guys. Another one in the books,
another
mate.
one in the books.
30 of
Hot
them.
mic in 30. Listen, we want to remind you to go to our page, check us out on social media. Beyonce and I are both on all of the social media platforms. But when you look at this podcast, of course, we want you to subscribe and share it, like it, do all of those things, and just know we're going to be right here having the best conversation. And we're not going to waste your time. 30 minutes.
30 minutes. That's it. That's all. We're done.
We out of here.